So this is Giovanni from City Bees, and we're going to do a new bee cast. And each week I'm going to ask Giovanni about a certain aspect of bee culture, which is fascinating. And this week we're going to talk about
Queens
queens
and swarming.
and swarming.
So,
Right, okay. So
this time of the year, the bees are tending to want to swarm to create a new colony, a new family basically. So the old queen will then leave with most of the foragers and leave behind some queen cells that from which.
So
will
what's a
emerge.
queen cell then?
A queen cell is where the queen larvae get raised, and it's bigger. It's in a different position than the worker cells. And
Is it in the middle of the hive where
usually
the...
at the bottom, right at the bottom, or sometime in the middle, or on the sides.
Okay.
Depends. But it's a vertical one rather than the horizontal one.
Right.
And they feed it with a lot of royal jelly, which makes the larva a different type of bee almost, a super bee.
And how long does the queen bee usually manage to live?
Yeah, she can live up to 5 to 6 years, sometimes 3, depends of the genetics. But she can live for a long time if we compare the lifespan of a worker bee, which can be for 3 to 6 months.
So let's talk about let's get down to the nitty gritty. Let's talk about the birds and the bees of the bees, right? So how many bees, when do they just, get it on?
Well, the queen, she's a bee of promiscuous in a sense that she will mate once in a lifetime, but she will mate with a lot of males, up to 20, even more.
Whoa.
And so what happens is she flies into the drones area where all the drones are flying around in the afternoon when it's warm, and then they chase her, and the one that is faster is the one that gets
Yeah.
to mate with the queen.
And does she do that like
Few days.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
The drones will die immediately as soon as they have done the business. Because the sting come up.
Yeah.
Well,
It's the same as when they sting you, they die.
Yeah. In fact, the males don't sting, but when they mate, they will die.
Ah.
She continues flying, and other males will then go for it.
We are still talking about bees here, by the way, people. Okay, so what actually happens then? How do they?
So the queen, as I said, the queen will mate only once in a lifetime, and then she will be fertile for several years.
So how can she reproduce if she only mates once in a life? I don't get it.
Well, she keeps the semen of the male in what's called the sperm sac.
Oh, jeez, I'm really glad I asked.
The sperm sac. And where she will keep all the several males' semen for years until she's no longer fertile. When she
Right.
runs out, they will replace her, making some queen cells, and at that point, which is called supersedure, the mother, when the new daughter the new queen is born, the mother and the daughter will be working and laying eggs together, and so at that point you will have two queens working in the same hive.
So how do they choose which one is the daughter then?
Well, they select some eggs which they believe they are part of the royal line. So
Really? How do they know that?
I'm not sure.
Wow.
They're able to detect that the royal line, so they will choose the best one.
It's quite an interesting dynamic between the queen and the power, because she's in a sort of gilded cage, really.
Well, she's not a decision maker. The decision of everything in the hive is taken by the bees as a unity all together, and they decide what to do or what
Really?
needs to be done. Yes, they do. If they need food, if they need to replace the queen, if they need to get rid of the drones.
How do they communicate this with each
By
other?
pheromone, they communicate by touching with antennas each other, and they pass each other. Also, they pass each other the pheromone of the queen.
Wow.
So that communicates. with
And then
them.
what happens when they decide? So they've got this daughter working alongside her
Yeah.
mother,
Yeah. When the daughter is fully geared
the
up,
princess.
yeah, the princess, she's fully geared up. They will then slowly start feeding less the mother, and then she will perish. But that process,
Starving her.
basically. Yeah.
I'm glad you think this is funny.
But basically, this process can go on for quite a few months when the two work together. I've seen it a few times.
Really?
You think, oh my God, there's two queens. What's going on?
Yeah,
And there's a mother and a daughter working together. They don't fight, of course.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Okay, well, we'll have to, I don't know how we're going to top that for next week.
Bye.
Okay, thank you, Giovanni, for your lovely honey and looking after, well, not yours.
No, I always steal it from them.
Yeah, you're the thief.
Some of it.
Okay, just a little bit about you, Giovanni, because obviously you're very knowledgeable and you're Italian. Which part of Italy are you from?
I'm from Sardinia.
Sardinia. So how did you learn about bees?
I've learned. Well, I went to a course, and also with practice and volunteering in some organisation also around South London, and it comes from a family. My dad used to keep bees. My grandfather used to keep bees.
Where did they keep them?
In Sardinia, in a farm.
You were brought up on a
I
farm.
grew up on a farm.
What sort of farm? With animals
Dairy
or
farm. Dairy farm.
dairy farm?
Lots
Yeah.
of cows.
Oh wow! So you brought up on like eating raw honey.
Raw honey, yeah.
And you're telling me a little bit about your grandfather as
Yeah.
well. That the way he used to make the hives from
Yeah,
cork.
it was made from the hives were made from cork, and it was not the standard hive that we use nowadays in modern times. They were made from cork, and it was a completely different process
Yeah.
and way of keeping bees.
So you wouldn't have to have tools to like
Yeah, no,
cut
it
wood and
never-
all this
it
lark.
never owned us a bee suit like we do.
Really?
No.
So he didn't get stung really. I've heard this.
I presume that he might have done, but it was probably used to. It's, most of the time, if you do the things properly, bees tend not to sting you.
Well, if they can pick up on pheromones from each other, they would be able to pick them up from
They can
people.
smell hers.
Of course.
Yeah, they can smell hers.
Yeah.
They can smell the sweat. They can smell our odor. They can smell the tear gland.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So
Oh.
never go to the bees when you're really sweaty.
All right, Giovanni. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Ciao.